Good morning everyone. My name is Tanushri Dalai from Civil Engineering branch, and today I am going to teach you your Theory 1 paper, which name is Structural Mechanics. In last class we discussed about your chapter 1, in which we discussed a basic principle of the structural mechanics and the basic concept about the structural mechanics, and we also discussed about force, moment, free body diagram, equation of equilibrium, and numericals regarding the center of the gravity and moment of inertia. Okay, so in the next class, that means today's class, is all about your chapter 2, which name is simple stress and strain. So first of all, you need to know what do you mean by stress and strain. So first of all, stress means when some external force or load is applied on a body, then the body offers resistance to these forces to make the equilibrium condition. This resistance force, which is developed in the material against the applied load, this internal resistance force per unit cross-sectional area is called as stress. It is denoted as sigma and it's expressed as Newton per mm square, or it is also known as Pascal. So first of all, stress means whenever a body subjected to a loading system, then due to the load, due to the force, the body give a return force against the external force or the applied force. So to make it equilibrium condition, the body give a return force towards the applied force, and that resisting force of the body per unit cross-sectional area, that means the area of the body, is known as your stress, okay, which is your mathematically represented as sigma equal to P by A, where P is your force, that means resisting internal force, and A is your area. So the unit of the force is Newton and the unit of the area is mm square. So as a whole, the unit of the stress is Newton per mm square. So your types of stresses are there. So there are three types of stresses. One is tensile stress, second one is compressive stress, and third one is shear stress. So what do you mean by tensile stress? So you can see here is a body and it is subjected to two equal and opposite tension forces. That means the force is in outward direction, here also and here also. So you can say that if we give a equal and opposite pull to a body in the form of force, then it is known as, or the body give a stress against this loading system is known as tensile stress, and the force is known as tension force. Okay, due to the tension force, the body give tensile stress. So as a definition, it is says that when force is applied in such a way, due to this the length of the body increases, this force is called tensile force, and stress developed by force is known as tensile stress. Okay, the unit of the tensile stress also Newton per mm square or Pascal. Okay, so now comes to the compressive stress. So what do you mean by compressive stress? So whenever a body subjected to two equal and opposite push, that means compressive force is applied in the two direction towards the body. So when the body is subjected to two equal and opposite compressive force, then the body gives a stress which is known as compressive stress. So as a definition of the compressive stress, it is says that when force is applied in such a way, due to this the length of the body decreases. When we give a push, then the length will be decreased. So the length of the body decreases. This force is called as compressive force, and the stress developed by the force is known as compressive stress. Okay, it is the opposite of tensile stress, you can say. So next is your shear stress. So what do you mean by shear stress? So you can see here is a body and here two equal and opposite push is there, but the force is situated, the place is different as compared to the compressive stress. Here at one side the force is applied at one corner, and similarly it is in the opposite side the force is in the pushing in nature, but it is applied in opposite direction of the one side. So we can say that if we give this kind of force to a body, then what happens? The length is increasing in this direction, and due to this force the length is increasing in this direction, by which it is known as a shear stress application. So by definition you can say that the shear stress occurs when two sets of forces of directed parallel to each other but not along the same straight line. If it is along the same straight line, then we can say that is the case of compressive stress. But in shear stress, the two forces are not along the same straight line. Okay, it is in this type which is shown in the figure. So a shear stress tends to resist the sliding of one portion of a body over another. So this type of situation or this type of case, you can say that it is a case of shear stress. Okay, so now come to the strain part. So what do you mean by strain? Strain is nothing, it is the ratio of change in dimension to the original dimension. So whenever a body subjected to a loading system or subjected to a force, then the body tends to some deformation and tends to some deflection. That means some changes will be there in the body. So the amount of changes divided by the original dimension is known as your strain. So by definition, after applying load on body, the body gets deformed. Yes, the body is deformed. This deformation is measured in terms of a dimensionless quantity, because change in dimension also a single unit like your centimeter or millimeter. Okay, then original dimension also a single unit like your centimeter or millimeter. So if we take the ratio, that means centimeter by centimeter, so the strain has no units, it is a unitless quantity. So the strain is denoted by epsilon. Okay, and epsilon equal to change in dimension divided by original dimension. If you provide a load along the length, then the change in length is there, then what is the amount of strain? Then the strain equal to change in length divided by original length. Okay, today this much. In the next class we will discuss from this strain part. Okay, thank you so much.